Hey guys, here we are for a short track guide in the Delara F3 car at Twin Ring Motegi. For this track guide, I'm going to show you the hot lap first, and then I'm going to break down the lap in slow motion and show my approach to each corner. Hope you enjoy. Okay, now let's analyze that lap in slow motion. So as we're coming to the finish line here, trying to get a really good exit out of the final corner, and as we're approaching the first corner, looking at the left-hand side to figure out our brake marker, we're going to be braking. You can see like there's this little like announcer phone or something before the 50 marker. I like to use that as my brake marker. And see we're going down just before that or right about there, getting on the brakes around like 70% or so. It's actually around 50%, but I'd say if you can get around 70%, that'd be a bit better. And you can see we're kind of intentionally missing the apex for this first corner. We're going to be trying to run a bit wider so we can connect these two corners together. If you apex that first one, you're going to run way wide and you're going to miss the apex for the second one, which is more important. So running a bit wide for the first, that way you can cut back and nail the apex for the second. You can see right here, just trying to hit the curb and then getting back to the throttle, unwinding the wheel. And now we're heading down this long second straight. So again, going down to the second straight, looking for a brake marker is just past the 70 board here. You can see we're already letting off the gas and starting to brake. Now this you can see around 70% brake pressure, trailing off into second gear, trying to get a really early apex here as soon as we get on the curb, and then immediately getting back to partial throttle around 50%. As soon as we unwind the wheel here, getting back to full throttle, you can see finally unwind it and back to full throttle. Now for this apex, you want to actually apex a bit later because the exit curving comes a bit later. So see, waiting to get to the inside curve, finally around there, and just trying to have as minimal rotation in the wheel. You can see the exit curve comes up quite late here. So using up all the track and now going down another long straight here. So again, approaching the left-hand side, braking just before like this light. I guess if you treat the 100 and the light as like the 50 equivalent, I'm trying to brake like, I don't know, like the 60 or so just before that light. I brake actually a little bit earlier than I could. Once again, 60% or 70% brake pressure, down to second gear, trying to get the curb as early as possible. Trying to unwind the wheel, get back to throttle really early. Again, you got a nice long, like straight slash curve that you can just take flat up ahead, using up all the curbing on exit and getting back to full gas. So again, through here, you can just keep it flat out, hold the inside line, and now I go through these S's here. They're like mid-speed corners, and basically I'm looking at this 50-meter board, braking just after it, and this is a lower threshold braking, maybe around like 20 or 30%. You don't need to be too aggressive on it. Trying to slow the car in a very slow fashion, like fourth gear and then waiting later to get to third. Trying to get some maintenance throttle in here to help the balance. And you can see I let off initially, just get that front rotation. Once the front finally gets that rotation, getting back to more throttle. But with these F3 cars, that change in rotation, that is quite a challenge in these cars. You really have to wait for that front to really stick. So that's the challenge in here. But you can see getting back to full throttle, and now approaching a deceivingly fast corner. So many of these corners have been like hairpins. This was another one you can brake almost like at this white line here at the start of the curbing, around 70 or 60% brake pressure, down to second. And unlike the hairpins, this is a lot shorter of a radius corner. So you can see the curbing ends real quickly here, and then you can almost unwind the wheel almost immediately. So it's a really short corner. Don't just try to make sure to get back to throttle. You have to get a slow apex speed, but you can get back to throttle quickly. Again, going down a nice long straight once again, braking quite late, like almost past this 50 curb, and another late apex really want to focus on. You can see you trying to be that like half a car length away from the curbing, then putting in more wheel, and then partial throttle, trying to apex right around there, so we can unwind the wheel and get back to power. And going down this nice long straight, this is our first braking zone with some elevation change. It's downhill here, so be patient or be cautious at not braking too late here. I'm braking basically at this 100. Try not to brake too much past it. If you brake too much past it, you can overshoot into the sand. So again, 80% brake pressure, easy to lock up here, especially on the downhill. A late downshift to second here. And then again, hugging this inside curb, not much exit curb on the outside, so just be cautious not running too wide through there. Approaching the final few corners, I'm using all the track on the right hand side to give ourselves a wide approach to this final chicane. And then I probably could even be a little bit further out there to get a straighter approach here, but getting on the brakes around 20%, using all the curb on the inside. Again, tapping the brakes once again, get some rotation, that change in transition, the hardest thing with this car. And then partial throttle through here, using up all the inside curb. I even use a bit of grass on the exit here. You can see, luckily there is something I want to point out here, is that right after the grass, there's a bit of asphalt. So even if you get stuck out here, you'll have a bit more grip, and that helps you get back on the track. So just be aware of that. Getting back to full throttle, and that's a lap at Twin Ring Motegi. So hopefully that track guide was helpful. As you can see, that was a 144.363. And I was using the baseline twin ring Motegi setup with 54.8% brake pressure. And here are the track settings that were used. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed.